result. Trey Yingst has the breaking news live from Tel Aviv. Trey.
Yeah, hey, we're following some really developing stories right now. We can see air defense coming off of some areas near to Tel Aviv, flying through the sky. And when I look at and I'm just going to stay with me here. I'm going to look at where these red alerts are on right now. There are sirens sounding right now in communities across Israel. We just saw another, some sort of missile interceptor fired off from an area around Tel Aviv. It is unclear whether this is David's sling or the arrow system. It is not the Iron Dome from this location. And I'm just going to step out of the frame here and see if we can see any of these interceptors go off here. But let's just talk about what's happening. There's a lot of red alerts right now that are, and reports of explosions heard near Beersheba. Okay, and right now you can see an interceptor coming off. I'm not sure if our cameras are able to pick that up, but that right there is the missile defense that is currently being used across Israel. We're going to try to get more information on what exactly is being fired here, but this is a clear indication that some of these Iranian drones or missiles have made it into Israeli airspace. The local channels right now that I can see are airing footage from inside Israel of interceptions taking place. They're also on the right side of Israeli channels in Hebrew. They have a list of the cities where sirens are currently sounding. And so, again, this is a really unprecedented situation, and I just want to confirm some information here before I report it to air, so just stay with me. And there are sirens that are currently sounding in Jerusalem and Dimona. That is where the nuclear facility is for the Israelis. So, again, a lot of developments right now. This is the initial Iranian response to the strike earlier this month that targeted 7 members of Iran's IRGC in Syria at the Iranian consulate. But again, this attack is starting to reach Israeli territory. There are Israeli defense officials still meeting at the Kiryat, Israel's version of the Pentagon, just a few miles from here, determining what the Israeli response against Iran will be.
Things are most definitely heating up. Prepare yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Prepare yourselves. We could be on the brink of a major catastrophe. Major catastrophe. For a variety of different reasons. Right? For a variety of different reasons. But, I want to talk about something today. And that is, do you guys remember when Uncle Trump was getting ready to take office and they were all warmongering and everything else? And even after Joe Biden came out and he said this.
If my son spent a year in Iraq, I don't know what it would have done when this president almost started a full-blown war with Iran because he makes a better deal. He's a great deal maker, isn't he? A better deal. He walks away from the Iran agreement. We end up having rockets launches against El Asad Air Force Base where my son had been.
When Trump almost did? Interesting. Interesting, Joe Biden. Very interesting, because it seems like it's happening under your administration, not Trump's. But I want to show you guys this video as well, because remember when they were just fear-mongering all of us and telling us Trump's going to start World War III. It's going to start under Trump's administration. And they were all saying it. Don't believe me? Come on now. Come on, y'all. You know if I make a claim... I got the footage. I got the... Come on, baby. Come on. All right, I'll show you the footage. Because I ain't lying. But that's the great thing about the internet. Videos live on forever, don't they?
Well, we're on the brink of World War III because Donald Trump took the worst possible option given to him in a slideshow.
In this country, we have begun to overestimate the dangers of impeachment and underestimate the dangers of a deranged president retaining control over a nuclear hyperpower.
We cannot wait around while Donald Trump is in control of the nuclear weapon.
Your objection to potentially going into World War III cannot be procedural.
Biggest danger, always just a Trump whim away from nuclear war.
They say it's World War III, but I'm looking out my window. It's very quiet in those smoking craters out there.
Has to be told that it's his job to avoid World War III.
One Democratic congressman sent me a note this evening and say this president wants this war.
A future administration needs to find a way to put an end to the forever wars.
We're in a new normal, and the new normal is forever war.
But there's a big difference between ending the forever wars, which he wants to do responsibly, and what seems to be President Trump's rather itchy Twitter finger.
The objective needs to be to end the forever wars.
If Congress does not want to go to war, now is the time to start putting restraints on this president. And again, they've been giving him green lights all the way.
Maybe it's because we're going to take on the military-industrial complex and end endless wars.
Every American needs to wake up to the shenanigans of the military-industrial complex and how much hundreds of billions of dollars are spent only because of short-term profit maximization for military defense contractors as opposed to America's legitimate security needs.
It's long past time we end the forever wars.
All of this, though, risks more of a proxy war than I think we're going to have a stomach for.
And ending our forever wars so that we can better serve our constituents at home.
When it comes to unlimited war, we seem to be able to invent that money very easily. And to me, it belies a lack of moral priorities that people have right now, especially the Republican Party.
Well, and that's why there are elections. They have consequences.
Quite interesting, huh? Quite interesting. To go from claiming that Trump is going to start World War III to saying that we need to end forever wars. But now they seem to love the forever wars and they want to fund every single war that's going on. And in some cases, both sides of said war. Just fund them both. It's fine. It's okay. Everything's all right. You guys remember when Joe Biden sent Iran $6 billion? Y'all remember that? I do.
The U.S. will have visibility and will be able to engage in oversight about where the money was going and for what purpose. If Iran tries to divert the funds, we'll take action and we'll lock him up again. And there will be sufficient oversight to make sure that the request is valid and that it's going through vendors who we and the Qataris can trust will actually contract for the goods, the medical equipment, the food, whatever it is. The regime doesn't get to touch the money, Peter. Doesn't go to them. They don't get to decide ultimate destination, and they have no direct access to it.
John, Iran made 2 transactions withdrawing from the previously frozen funds in Oman. What were those transactions for?
I don't have the details on that, Jackie. You're gonna have to let me get back to you on that.
Oh, so we just gave them billions of dollars and you told us that you were going to know exactly where it was going and what it was for. But then when we asked, you don't know? Interessante, if I do say so myself. Well, you guys remember the president of Iran and what he said about the money? Well, if you don't, here's a refresher.
But what is your expectation of its use? We're told that it's for humanitarian purposes, food and medicine. Do you believe you have the right to use that money in any way that you see fit?
This money belongs to the Islamic Republic of Iran, and naturally, we will decide, the Islamic Republic of Iran will decide to spend it wherever we need it.
So if I hear you clearly, that it will be used for more than humanitarian purposes in your view?
Humanitarian means whatever the Iranian people needs. So this money will be budgeted for those needs. And the needs of the Iranian people will be decided and determined by the Iranian government.
Oh, and the needs of the people will be decided by the government. Great job, Joe Biden. Whoop-de-doo. Congratulations. You played yourself. Goodness gracious. Like, how incompetent can one administration get? Like, it's honestly incredible. Like, when you thought they hit an all-time low, they just go even lower. It's incredible. It really is. And the fact that some people still think that Biden is a viable candidate to be a president is just, it's mind-boggling to me. It's mind-boggling. This election should be the same percentage that crap, what's the guy's name? And I think it's El Salvador. Their new president, Bukele, I think his name is. He recently won their election by 80%. Like, it wasn't even close, because he's completely cleaned up the streets, taking that country from one of the worst in terms of crime to like one of the best in just his short term as president of the country so far. Yeah. That's the type of landslide that Uncle Trump should have right now. But unfortunately, we have some folks in this country that are still convinced that Joe Biden is the guy. But here we go. You know, and this is the thing. Anyone who supports Joe Biden is supporting war, is supporting sending their sons, possibly even daughters, right? Their husbands or significant others into war to be cannon fodder, to fight for the people up top. Wow. Just disgusting stuff, man. Disgusting stuff. We should not be getting into these types of situations. You know, if we had Uncle Trump, I guarantee you none of this stuff would have happened. None of this stuff would have happened. Uncle Trump famously said when he was asked about the Ukraine Russia situation, and you know they were trying to get the gotcha moment, which is also another reason why I say this is Trump 2.0. He said, "I just want people to stop dying." Regardless of how you feel about this side or that side, I agree with that sentiment. I just want people to stop dying. That's it. That's all. Stop dying. Because at the end of the day, I don't know these folks at all. Don't know them from a can of paint, right? But they're somebody's brother. They're somebody's son. Possibly somebody's father. Okay? And that's always tragic to see. You know? That's always tragic to see. And to see folks like Joe Biden leading this country the way that he is leading us. Now, I'm not saying that war is completely avoidable at all times. There may come a time in history where, again, we will have to fight. Okay? But a lot of these situations going on right now could have all been avoided. Could have all been avoided. But because we have such weak, incompetent leadership, they weren't avoided. And now, we are actually on the brink of World War III. Not when Trump was in office. Right now. But as always, y'all let me know your thoughts, your opinions on this in the comment section below. Like, share, comment. Hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.